Hi, my name is Alex and I'm your guide in the outbound sales world. Today I'd like to share how you can write the perfect email copy even though you don't have any inspiration and don't feel like doing so. So in the past, when I was working with clients and I needed to deliver a copy, but I didn't know where to start and how to put the words on paper, I developed a framework for myself which makes it super easy to come up with different ideas and the copy comes together kind of by itself. And I'd like to share the framework with you, and I hope it will be helpful for you as well. So first, before I even start thinking about what I'm going to say in my campaign, how am I going to approach it, and so on, I collect all the materials and data I have that I can leverage for my email copies. And I start with the website and the presentation that you usually show on the demo to your customer, potential customer. And when I read through the website or the presentation, I copy all the lines that I might use in my email. I'm not going to use the same lines, but I'm going to transform it somehow in my email. So I copy everything that makes sense and that I would like to use. And also if I see that there are some maybe arguments or maybe how we're different, and you list what's special about your company. So obviously those things I will copy them and enter into a blank Google Doc. This is where I collect all the information and I just read through, copy and paste it in my document. When I'm done with this, I proceed with marketing materials. I take case studies, I take testimonials and maybe any other things that you think provide unique content or maybe are unique to your company. Everything what's available I read through, and again I copy everything that I find useful and insert it into my document. The case studies and testimonials, I insert the full testimonial in my document, and I also save the links to my case studies, because if you would want to link it in your campaign, then you have the link already in your document and you don't get distracted by searching for something. So I copy the testimonials and case studies, then I collect all articles, blog posts or other marketing materials that might be useful. I want to do as many follow-ups as I can, but I don't want to be spammy and I don't want to be annoying. And if I'm doing a follow-up, then I'm adding up to my previous message, adding some more details, or I would like to provide some value to the prospect, and this is why I collect all the valuable blog posts, articles and so on, and add all the links to my document. And if I think that I read through the articles, and if I find something interesting, maybe I can find a pain point in the article that I can leverage in my copy, then obviously I copy that separately and insert it in my document. So that's kind of my preparation work. Once you have done that, you have already a document of a lot of things that you can leverage, and this makes it so much easier to write the copy. And what I actually do is I just insert a line after all the quotes and all the links that I have collected, and then I start writing the copy. So obviously when I'm done with that, I'm focusing only on my document. I do not open any other sources, websites and so on. I read through everything that is in my document, and then for me personally it is super hard to write the beginning of anything, like if it's a blog post or an email copy or whatever. I think it's hard to start with it, so I usually start with the middle part. Like if I know that I'm going to introduce the company, or maybe I'm going to address a pain point and then explain how the prospect can solve this pain point, then I'm going to start with that. So that's tip number 2 besides the preparation. Start with the part that comes to your mind. And then tip number 3 would be write down any thought that comes to your mind. That's what I do. I don't write like, okay, I'm going to write email number 1, and then when I'm done, I'm moving on to email number 2. I'm just writing down every thought that comes to my mind, because it's so easy to lose it, and then it's sometimes in your mind it's hard to combine it and connect. So I just write every sentence down that comes to my mind. And then once you have it already on paper or in your document, then it's already easier to work with it, to polish the sentence or connect the dots between the different sentences and kind of work with it like with Lego, you know, so you can put the parts together, pull them apart, and just play around with it. And that's how I do it. I just write the sentences down, and then I think, oh, maybe I want to try the other approach. I just write it down, and then everything that comes to my mind, I look at it if I want to, if I keep it or not. And then secondly, if I'm going to use all of it, if you see that you have 2 different things that don't go together, you can always write 2 different campaigns, so you can A/B test both and see what performs better. Or if they match but probably not in one email, then I divide it into the first email, and then the second one would be the follow-up, kind of adding more information. And at this point I usually have already the body or the whole first email, sometimes also the second email, and then I'm working with follow-ups. So for the follow-ups I go back to my first section that I prepared at the beginning, and I look at the testimonials. Testimonials are a great source of maybe pain points that the customer have, or like what's the best feature that was useful for the customer, or just, you know, in general, testimonials are a way of how your prospects speak. So I like to include maybe a part, or maybe I rephrase it. Sometimes I even do a follow-up saying like, hey, maybe you thought about using our service but you weren't too sure, so here's a testimonial, maybe that will clear things up a bit, you know. And then again, yeah, this is why we have collected all the case studies and blog articles. If you can address a pain point and then say, here's an interesting article, maybe that would be interesting for you, you can leverage that in your follow-ups. And everything that you have collected at the beginning, you can somehow put in your email sequence and write as many follow-ups as possible. Obviously consider the fact that you don't want to be annoying and you don't want to spam people, so you need to consider who you're contacting and how it is happening and what content you're delivering. For me, it's a huge thing. It helps me a lot. It really helps me to concentrate on the process, and even if I'm not in the mood of writing email copies, I still get the job done, and I think it's working very well. Thank you for watching the video till the end. If you like the video, please leave me a reaction. I'll be happy to see some feedback, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.